Welcome back. The program is still Good Morning Abuja, and this morning we will be delving into the world of small and medium scale enterprises. Yes, for any society, any economy to be termed as vibrant, it means its small and medium scale enterprises are doing very well. Now, you might begin to wonder, why is this so? That is because everybody cannot be a conglomerate. However, the little efforts that we all put together, whether it's that man who is into that soap making or is that person who is doing a business that is normally tied to those little women, or is even people upscale the business to be able to attract customers due to their ability to bring a commodity that is most needed to them. The small and medium scale enterprises, in whatever angle you want to look at it from, is a must have. Now, the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, is one that has a very vibrant small and medium scale enterprises. And if we want to look at from those women who you see designing the clay pots from the time of the great Lady Kwali herself, or we want to look at it from the angle of the soap makers, the shea butter, people who make shea butter, and these things add up to the bigger economy, and they are in no way providing immeasurable support to the Nigerian economy by their effort. This morning, we will be examining how important they are, what challenges they face, and what support we can give them. And we'll be doing this through the agency that is set up specifically for this purpose. We're talking about the Abuja Enterprise Agency. Good morning, sir, and welcome on the show.
Good morning, yes, of course, good morning.
Yes,
Pleasure to be here.
my guest this morning is none other but Mr. Chudi Ugwada Ezirigwe, who is the acting managing director slash CEO of Abuja Enterprise Agency. It's such a pleasure having you in the house.
Thank you very much. My pleasure to be here.
I've heard you described as the friend of the business owner. I don't know if that description is, if what I heard is wrong. Can you please let us know, why do these small business owners refer to you as their friend?
Well, they refer to me as their friend practically because, for us as Abuja Enterprise Agency, we can feel their pulse.
Hmm.
Our responsibility is to them. And, you know, one of our cardinal virtues as an agency is respect for the human person.
Wow.
So that when we go out to work or when they come to our offices are open, windows are open, doors are open, and we relate to them one on one. Because you really can't help or assist or support a person who is in business in an environment without being friends, without understanding their feelings and without having the passion to get someone from zero to something.
Amazing.
So that is just why it's as if, not just myself alone, the entire body of staff, because we work as a team, really work as a team. So for us, as an agency, that respect we have for the human person is what translates into the way we deliver our job. And that's why they feel free with us. And they're always coming and we always go into them with our support, with our assistance, and with all those things, our services that are always, tailored to meet their demands. So when we meet their demands, they feel very okay with us, and so it goes.
Amazing. Yeah, but let's have an understanding of what this what in your description now, how would you describe the small and medium scale enterprise community of Abuja? Like, what do you see? Is it vibrant? Is it doing well?
Yes, you see, Abuja, as you already know, is a growing city. In fact, Abuja is about the fastest growing city in sub-Saharan Africa.
Hmm.
And the growth is reflected also in the emerging businesses that are springing up in the FCT. And it's an environment that you have people who are actually enlightened,
Hmm.
by way of default. And that has made our job easier, even though um, you'll say, yeah, beyond the city where you call the Federal Capital City, which is, predominantly in the Abuja Metropolitan Management Council area. We also have the other five area councils, that are within the Federal Capital Territory. And our job is to ensure that our services permeate into these five area councils, including AMAC, which is in the center. So you have a very vibrant business community here that to the extent that for us, the level of enlightenment is such that, for some area councils, we really need to come down to their level in terms of communication. Because for us, communication is key. Information is very, very important in the delivery of our services, in the delivery of our activities to the people. Because, so many times we find that people usually presume that they know these things that we are talking about when we say entrepreneurship and enterprise. This assumption is that I know it after all. Sometimes the businesses people run, or the activities, the business activities or economic activities that people run, they inherit from their parents or from their families. But you see, the world has become a global village and is transforming per minute, so that you cannot really operate any business within your locality in isolation without having to contend with the fact that you need to upscale and become competitive. Even if it is still within the country, you still have to be competitive because people are running the same business you're running somewhere else, and they're upscaling and they're doing better things. So that for you to survive as a business, you must have to be competitive. You must have to learn new tricks. You must have to learn new business ideas, that are easily accessible, especially in these days of information and communication technology.
Yes, talking about that information and communication technology, I want to take us a bit back to the COVID era. It will look like one of the blessings that came out from that very horrific era would be a certain reawakening to the need for small and medium enterprise businesses because all of a sudden people were able to leverage on technology. Uh, the Abuja space now is filled with businesses on social media platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You see people advertising. Yeah. You see from something as simple as Zobo and Kuno to body creams and all of that. Now, in this competitive, because I'm coming down to the competition now, what level of training or expertise does your agency introduce to the business owners to make them stand out and be unique?
At the time that COVID came, it was like we were home because, of course, we had already started pushing forth the idea of use of technology to leverage businesses before the COVID era. So that in FCT, for instance, it became very easy for business operators who had passed through the Abuja Enterprise Agency trainings, because we have a very vibrant faculty wherein the use of technology was of very key importance to the extent that most entrepreneurs who pass through our training must be trained on the use of technology, in running businesses. And it gives them this leverage in the area of communication, in the area of advertisement, awareness creation, even payment platforms, to be able to receive their monies without having to receive cash. This, of course, and so many things that the Abuja Enterprise Agency was able to instill by way of training, and assimilation. Because one thing is to train, another thing is to assimilate and put it into practice. And this brings me to the question of, the faculty of mentors that we have. What we actually do in Abuja Enterprise Agency is to ensure that once you pass through our training, we follow you up, keep a tab on you, and ensure that you are assigned a mentor who is within the same eco space with you. And then, of course, that provides you with a continuous learning process, so that at the end of the day, beyond the training in the classroom, in the lecture rooms at the AEA, right? When you go back to your business location, right, you have your mentor visiting you from time to time, and of course, you yourself have the responsibility of going back to this mentor when challenges, arise, and when new things, appear that you may not really be able to, handle. So that we encourage, people who pass through our trainings to always be available for learning.
Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, I will tell you a story of how I, sitting here, am a recipient of the AEA's training sometime in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. So let's take this short break. When we come back, there's still a lot to discuss on the program. Welcome back. The program is still Good Morning Abuja. And of course, we are having this very interesting conversation with Mr. Chudi Ugwada Ezerigwe. That is the acting managing director, stroke CEO of the Abuja Enterprise Agency. And before we went on that break, I did say I was also a recipient of the AEA training back in 2011. Not just me, many of my colleagues here. Now, that was a very, very important moment for us because it was we're freshly integrated into service and beginning our career as civil servants. And the AEA came to our organization, which is the NTA, and it spoke to us that it's not enough to just be a civil servant. It's also good to have something to do so that you could at least make ends meet, knowing the nature of the economy. Now, many of us took part in that training. Some of those my colleagues are, in fact, they are entrepreneurs now doing very well for themselves. Some of us did not go the entrepreneurial route, but we picked a lot from that training. Now, let's come back to some of the programs you have, like this program of training. That was really interesting, and I learned a lot from it, and I have success stories from colleagues. Now, what other programs does the AEA do, not just for already established entrepreneurs now, but intending entrepreneurs who even don't know how to go about it?
Okay, so what we try to do is to bring about information dissemination.
Okay.
As we speak, we are engaging in a 2 month financial uh, enlightenment and financial literacy, as we call it, financial literacy and financial inclusion campaign, which is taking us across the 6 area councils of the FCT. And the whole idea here is to begin to get our people to understand the need of putting whatever resources you have to the best use. Because so many people who are in business as entrepreneurs, yes, of course, saving is key. However, it's also important to invest in activities that have, guarantee for return on investment. And that's our responsibility. Now, for us, it is also important that our job has actually been made easy, by the current administration, under the pragmatic leadership of the Honorable Minister of the FCT, His Excellency, Right Honorable some Wiki, CON, who, upon assumption of office, came in with this drive of making things function the way things should function. And in the past, it was difficult for us to assess so many communities where, people were running enterprises. People are very resilient, very productive, very agrarian, and, they need the support. We've been visiting and taking our trainings and our activities and our services to the internet, but we find it difficult in the past because the roads leading to so many of these communities actually were not accessible. In fact, there were times that we had to drop our vehicles somewhere and walk 30 kilometers, 4 kilometers on foot to be able to access, uh, entrepreneurs in rural areas. But right now, those kind of situations have become history. And they say heaven helps those
who help
who help
themselves.
themselves.
Amazing.
You understand it? So for you to have taken the training you took in 2011, I'm sure it's not something that is a loss.
But before we go, I would like to know what does the agency do as regards women now? They are very integral to the success of any SME, and most times they are the actual business owners when we talk about SMEs. Now, you incorporate women into your plans very quickly.
Very good. So for us, we deliberately, as a matter of policy, have our services, our activities target women at the level of 70%. Right? Everything we do is about women because over time we have realized that women make our job easier. Right? Is it to talk about how they respond when they take loans or they receive grants? We find them putting the money to the purpose for which it is meant. Like I said, 70% of our activities are within the area councils. And it is women that we actually relate to because women, I don't know, but maybe it's their nature. They are very resilient, they are very productive, they are very hardworking. And I think probably because of their closeness to children, they don't want food to lack, from the table. So they always want food to be there, they always want their children to be in school. So we are supporting them because they are available and they make our jobs easier by taking our trainings very seriously and acting upon it. And when they have challenges, they do not hesitate to make it clear to us that this is a challenge. And they're very honest people, as a matter of fact. So for women, we feel very comfortable, we feel very happy and proud to work with women because they always have, reason to show you that yes, indeed, what you have done for them, this is the result, right? And that is why we make sure that we don't, as a matter of policy, 70% of what we do is targeted at women.
Amazing. There you have it coming
For the
from.
youth, we
Yes.
don't take matters of the youth seriously. We have very strong and vibrant youth in the FCT who are eager, patriots, who are eager to contribute their own quota to national development. And we don't, in fact, we have the directive of the Honorable Minister of the FCT to work with the new youth secretariat to ensure that the youths of the FCT are given that opportunity and the privilege to ensure that they, get what they want. And what do they want? To keep busy, transferring to the banks, and everybody's happy. That's essentially what we're doing.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what you're doing is indirectly, or let me say directly related to national security, because as I say, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So a preoccupied mind is one that has no time to involve itself in criminalities. So I'd like to thank our guest this morning, Mr. Chudi Ugwada Ezerigwe, the acting managing director and CEO of the Abuja Enterprise Agency. Our conversation has been on the Abuja Enterprise Space and how the AEA is shaping the space. My take from here is if you're a business owner, you're interested in starting a business, no matter how small, then there's a one-stop shop for you at the AEA to kickstart that process, whether it's training, it's mentorship, it's even financing or support. You're sure to find it there. Thank you so much for coming on the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Let's quickly take a short break now. When we come back, the rest of the program will be brought to you. Stay with us.